The first complaint came at 7:03 a.m. I was setting out the welcome mats, coffee already brewing in the community kitchen, when I heard the ding of an email with the subject line, "Noise complaint, unauthorized bell sound." It was from the HOA president herself, Karen Whitmore. The email read, "This is a peaceful neighborhood. Your loud bell at 7 a.m. is disruptive and unapproved by HOA Ordinance 14.2b. Cease immediately." I stared at my screen, heart pounding not with fear, but with disbelief. That unauthorized bell was the signal for our kids in wheelchairs, with visual impairments, with nonverbal autism. That bell told them it was time to line up for morning songs and tactile learning. The school sat at the far edge of the neighborhood, inside my converted home. I'd fought for 2 years to open. It poured my savings into making it ADA compliant. And every single morning, those children waited for that soft bell chime like it was Christmas morning, but Karen didn't care. 2 days later, I got another email, this time with photos. A grainy image of the small bronze bell hanging above my porch, attached to a laminated HOA citation. Failure to remove this fixture will result in daily fines and potential legal action. I knew what this was. It wasn't about noise. Karen had already fought me on building the ramp. She hated that I'd been granted a zoning exemption for educational use. Hated the sound of joy. This bell was just the next excuse, but she didn't know who she was dealing with. Because before I was a teacher, I was something else. A civil rights attorney. With a specialization in disability law, I called a meeting. Not with Karen, with the parents. We printed flyers, filed affidavits, recorded statements about the importance of routine for neurodivergent children. One mother, Jasmine, stood in my kitchen holding her son's noise-canceling headphones, tears in her eyes. He doesn't speak, but when he hears that bell, he smiles. That's the only way I know he's ready. The next day, I filed a formal ADA Title III complaint against the HOA for attempted obstruction of educational access. Karen must have gotten the notification the same morning because she stormed onto my driveway in a linen suit and heels, gripping a clipboard. "This is a residential community, not a daycare," she barked. I smiled, calm, confident. "It's not a daycare, it's a licensed private educational institution, filed with the county and protected by federal law." She sputtered, flipping through her clipboard. You can't just..." "Oh, but I did." I held up the documentation. Zoning board approved, state registered. "And this bell?" I tapped it gently. Ding. "It's been formally classified as an auditory accessibility device. You're trying to ban an accessibility tool under ADA Title III. That's a federal offense." Karen's face drained of color. A week later, I got a letter not from her, but from the HO's legal counsel. They were withdrawing all complaints and requesting clarification workshops on ADA compliance. But that's not how I ended. I invited them to one of our school assemblies. Every Friday, the kids performed a little song. That week, they sang "This Little Light of Mine." When they were done, one of the nonverbal students rolled up to the front with his iPad voice device and pressed a button. "Thank you for letting us be heard." Karen was there, so were 5 other board members. Some clapped. Karen didn't move, but the message landed. The bell still rings every morning at 7 a.m. Only now, it echoes louder because respect makes a sound. And in this neighborhood, silence isn't peace. It's erasure. Not on my watch.